Well, we just got some breaking news here at the White House. The Trump administration is now ending TPS for Somalis living here in the United States. This is going to affect thousands of people across the country, and they will have to leave the United States in just over 60 days by March 17th.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, Donald Trump ends TPS for the Somalis in United States. This means that on date 17 March, all Somalis will be deported from United States. So before I dive in, let's all watch this video until the end, then I'll come back with more comment. I'm your host, Tim Test Reaction. Remember to give this video a thumbs up, and all full credit goes to the original creators of this video.
We do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community. What we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his coolies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abet terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger. And if the president believed that and he had evidence, he would take people to court. So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding to put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities, while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact. We've seen it during the campaign where he said Asians were eating cats and dogs. We've seen his vice president repeat those lies. We've seen the media run it as a headline as if it was a fact. That is shameful. That is shameful. That is ignorant. It makes us look like a stupid nation that does not believe in truth but traffics in lies. It makes the world mock us, and we are better than that. We are better than that as Americans.
Obviously, we've been hearing from a lot of community members who are very concerned about these recent developments, and that's completely understandable. What we want people to hear today is that while this is a cause for concern, it is not a cause for panic. President Trump's social media announcement on Friday has no legal effect. TPS for Somalis in Minnesota or anywhere else in the country has not been canceled. It has not been terminated effective immediately. TPS programs can only be terminated by the Secretary of Homeland Security, and the Secretary has not taken any action on this program to date. For community members who are Somali with temporary protected status, which is a little over 400 people here in Minnesota, if you have TPS status, we encourage you to consult with an immigration attorney as soon as possible.
I've had many conversations since the post. I think there's a lot of shock. There's a lot of fear. There's concerns about escalation and also more targeting. We do plan to meet with law enforcement, different agencies in the coming week to be able to be better prepared and for them to also be aware of what's actually happening. We've asked our mosques and our community centers to be on edge and to make sure that they are vigilant. We're also asking today, specifically Minnesotans here and our people across, if you see any social media threats or anyone threatening or sending it, please immediately report it to law enforcement or report it to us, whatever is easier for you, because we do not want an escalation of political violence, which we believe could come out of this rhetoric as it stands today. Minnesota has suffered enough.
I don't know if y'all heard, but Trump just ended TPS for Somalis. They got till March 17th to figure it out, y'all. They could either self-deport, which Trump always encouraged because it comes with incentives. I could only imagine how much 1,000 USD could take you in Somalia. You could probably buy a couple of goats. I don't know what they buy out there, but yeah, I know spaghetti and bananas. That's an infinite spaghetti and banana glitch, you know. But about 3,900 of them is impacted by this decision. Yeah, 2,500 with the status, that's going to end. And then there were like maybe 1,400 applications pending, which will be voided because it doesn't make sense to end TPS, but then think about the pending applications, right? Oh, this is the good news. According to the administration, conditions have improved in Somalia. So that's good for Somalia, of course, the country and the people. So conditions have improved. And Christy Noem stated that temporary being the key word, temporary status. So yeah, they're going through with this March 17th. You either could self-deport and get all the incentives that come with self-deportation, or DHS will help you March 17th to figure it out for yourself if you can't make that decision for yourself.
No surprise, Somalia has been removed from temporary protected status. The Department of Homeland Security has announced their 60-day notification to terminate temporary protected status. This termination would go into effect March 16th, 2026. If you are from Somalia and have TPS, you have to get on the CBP Home app and register to depart the United States by that date. There have been 11 countries in total that have been removed from the TPS list. These countries, the Department of Homeland Security has made the determination that they're safe to live in and for the TPS recipients to go back to countries including Afghanistan, Haiti, Venezuela, and now Somalia.
Now please keep your hands where we can see them. It's just money for my family, wallahi. I don't do nothing wrong.
You're transporting over 500,000 in undeclared currency. We have to see.
I need it for home, please, I beg you.
Ma'am, you're being detained right now. Turn around for me.
Did you know that millions, potentially billions of dollars have passed right through here at TSA in Minneapolis, Minnesota? Yep, for several years, Somalians would come in pairs, two men would come in pairs with suitcases full of cash. It would be tagged by TSA agents, but then the TSA agents would send them to a certain room, and then the Somalians were on their way. Once they left this airport, they'd go to the airport in Atlanta, Georgia. From Atlanta, Georgia, they'd go to Dubai. Once they landed in Dubai, they would wire that money to Somalia.
Trump is about to deport hundreds of Somali Americans right now. I'm gonna break it down for you. So on November 21st, Trump announced via Truth Social that he's terminating TPS for Somalis in Minnesota. And the reason he's doing this is because he has accused the Minnesota Somali community of fraud and money laundering. But as of now, he has offered no public verified proof of that. According to the congressional data, around 705 of them being Somali-born people in the US currently benefit from TPS. And the DHS actually extended and redesignated Somali's TPS status on July 22nd, 2024 into March 2026. Legal experts argue that Trump does not have legal authority to unilaterally revoke TPS designated by law, especially for a particular group in one state. Civil rights groups are calling that this is politically motivated and discriminatory, and courts are likely to step in. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with Trump or do you disagree? Let me know in the comments down below.
Why would you get caught? You scammed the government. Cool. Why? The Galas are turning on us and they're questioning the legitimacy of all Somali businesses. Now this is a horrible PR.
She's mad because they're giving away the game. She's saying you're scamming. It's so obvious that you're scamming and you're making us look bad because now they're going to see we're all scamming. But why were you doing this and getting caught? She's not mad at them for scamming. She's mad at them for blowing their cover.
The government-assisted housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians, and the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars. And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards, and they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijabs.
This is all I know. I was only 3 years old when I came, and this is my home, and this has got to stop.
I'm not scared. So I'm citizen. I'm happy. I'm United States. I brought up America. I'm happy. So why you asking me? Some guys asking me, give me passport, give me a green card. Why? Why you asking me?
Somali leaders endorsed Donald Trump during the election, and now he wants to deport them.
Somali nationals with TPS are now required to leave the United States by March 17th, 2026. Baby, you heard me right. The Trump administration says that country conditions has improved in Somalia, that it no longer meets the law's requirement for temporary protected status, and so further allowing Somali nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is contrary to our national interests. We are putting Americans first. The U.S. first recognized people from Somalia as being eligible for temporary protected status back in 1991. So there you go, honey. The Trump administration is saying temporary means temporary.
Somalis will be the first one to tell you that they are not black, okay? They don't even consider themselves African. They said we are Arab, okay? Secondly, these people stole from you. Not only did they steal from you, they stole from your children. Got on TikTok and bragged about it, boasted about it, laughed about it. Then went on press conferences with diamonds on talking about fraud is bad. Had a whole kiki about it. Playing in your face, okay?
The reason why we are not supporting you, Somalis, is because y'all are selfish people, you're ungrateful, you're haters, you're racist, you're tribalistic. Nobody wants to be behind you, and you're so standoffish. And the most important thing, y'all have said you're not Africans. You said you're Somalis. You gravitate more towards Arabic, those Arabic countries. So you've distanced yourself from Africans. That is why we don't support you. Nobody wants to support y'all. Y'all are a problem. You're a big problem. You're thieves, you're liars, you're scammers. You know, nobody trusts you.
So the Trump administration has ended temporary protection status for Somalians. Now this comes during the time that they are constantly saying that there's some type of Somalian fraud, like fraud has some type of race or ethnicity attached to it. Like we didn't know Donald Trump just released it. Multiple people committed a fraud, and he did it in such a way where they would not even have to pay back their restitution to their victims. Now, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said that conditions in Somalia had improved enough to end TPS. Now, she's saying this even though they're still fighting in Somalia. This is what Kristi Noem said verbatim. Country conditions in Somalia have improved to the point that it no longer meets the law requirement for temporary protected status. Further allowing Somalian nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is contrary to our national interests. We're putting Americans first. Now they're saying this while they're ushering in white Afrikaners, people that they say are good for our national security interests. I'm assuming, I don't know why, considering we already got the richest South African ever constantly flooding our social media spaces with nothing but a bunch of racist, bigoted thoughts. But y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. Remember, check out my links to my bio, follow me for more, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I am so miserable. I'm having the hardest time to get out of my bed. And every fucking day, I have to be at the office 5 days a week. I'm exhausted. And I think I'm having a little mini burnout. I don't know what I'm having. I'm just exhausted. I'm dead ass done.
When you wake up and find out your temporary status is gone.
Trump administration is ending the temporary protected status of Somali migrants. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem telling Fox News, temporary means temporary.
Yep, that's the definition.
Country conditions in Somalia have improved to the point that it no longer meets the law's requirement for temporary protected status.
Which means you good, boo. You can go home.
Further, allowing Somali nationals to remain temporarily in the United States is contrary to our national interests. We are putting Americans first.
We got till March 17th to get the heck out, but I love how little mama says, oh, no. He doesn't have the power to do that. How people think that Trump can't make a call or two before he gets on social media. Yo, I'm just calling to make sure that I can remove this temporary status bullshit real quick before I post this. Yeah? Okay, cool. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, a bill was introduced like a week ago to get these MFs out.
Today, you introduced a bill that would terminate temporary protected status for people from Somalia.
Somalia and also 17 other countries that have people that are here illegally, that have no business being in this country at all, that want to see harm done to my fellow Americans. And what prompted this was the complete derelict of duty that we saw from Governor Walz and what happened in Minnesota. These people, according to my bill, will now have about 180 days to self-deport, and that goes with them and everyone else from the other 17 countries.
Duh. Like, why would you have a law that says you cannot be an illegal immigrant and your punishment is deportation, and then have a law that protects illegal immigrants from deportation?
What Democrat wrote this bullshit?
Another day, another fucking Somalia scammer, because these people just can't leave us the fuck alone and get the fuck out of our country. Somalian scammers transported, according to the TSA, in years that had nothing to do with Trump, over $700 million in cash that they themselves claimed through TSA to get it out of the country, primarily moving it to Dubai and other foreign countries. $700 million in 2 years. In 2023, they moved almost $350 million in cash, in suitcases, out of the country. I'm not saying every Somalian is a scammer, but it appears that all of the scammers in Minnesota seem to be fucking Somalian.
So did y'all hear about the TPS? Trump is ending the TPS for certain Somalians, and they'll be required to leave by March, I believe. I don't know the exact date, but they're gonna have to leave. So all that frauding and kikiing and stuff like that, and making fun of people, talking about motherfuckers is lazy and on welfare when y'all is the biggest welfare recipients right now. That's being basically plastered all over the nation on nationwide television. Come on now.
So it sounds like we need to get these people out of our country and do it fast. But Ilhan Omar doesn't think the president has the authority to do that.
When the president tweets as if he has the authority to terminate temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota, even little kids in 8th grade know that that is not an authority that the president has and can wield.
Well, it looks like she was wrong again, because that is exactly what President Trump is doing.
All right, Todd Lyons is the ICE director and joins us now. Sir, good to have you back on. The president has called to end the temporary protected status of Somalians living in the state of Minnesota. When that does happen, is ICE going to be going into what's called Little Mogadishu there on the southeast side of Minneapolis?
Hey, Rob. Good seeing you again. Thanks for having me. Yeah, so, ICE, obviously, we enforce the laws the way they're written, right? And so if someone's temporary protective status is lifted, which it's happened many times to different various countries and nationalities, but we're ready to take action, and that's what we do, right? When someone's temporary protective status is lifted, they are now illegal aliens. They're here in the country illegally, and we will go ahead and remove those criminal elements out of our neighborhoods.
Now, I imagine Ilhan Omar's getting pretty nervous at this point. Take a listen to how bad the fraud actually was.
Our officers encountered blatant marriage fraud, visa overstays, people claiming to work at businesses that can't be found, forged documents, abuse of the H-1B visa system, abuse of the F-1 visas, and many other discrepancies. Over the course of the operation, our officers found indication of fraud, non-compliance, or public safety and national security concerns in nearly a little less than 50% of the cases.
First Somali ICE agent ever. And these elders right here were not playing. They recognized this guy and they said, "Waria, you're Somali. What you doing working for ICE?"
Somalis may have to go back to Somalia. President Trump has proposed to end TPS status for Somalis. Most Somali immigrants in America are here on a temporary protective status. Basically, their home country, Somalia, is unsafe, so they're here on a work authorization. However, if that's to be ended, things can happen for the Somali community. First, the loss of legal status. Secondly, they're not able to work in the United States. And then most importantly, the risk of deportation. There's a huge Somali community in the Minnesota-St. Paul area. And of course, if the TPS status has ended, it will affect their community tremendously. What do y'all think? My name is Tiffany. I lost 150 pounds in 2.5 years. And I also report different news topics as such today. Tap in.
The elders called this guy a Dadan and then he took off running. And the Somali guy got scared. He thought the Habres might recognize him. So he ran back to the SUV to hide.
So they found a Somali ICE agent, which don't surprise me because we've seen black ICE agents, we've seen Hispanic ICE agents. What you don't see is you don't see any white ICE agents hunting down any of the 580,000 undocumented European immigrants in this country. We got over 500,000 undocumented European immigrants, yet I ain't seen a single video, not one, of any white ICE agents terrorizing any of these European neighborhoods. None. Not a single one. I'll give you $10 if you give me one. Show me one video. You won't see it. Because they know they can't pay white people to hunt down other white people, unlike paying black people to hunt down other black people, unlike paying other Hispanic people to hunt down other Hispanic people, unlike paying Somali people to hunt down other Somali people. You're not a good person.
Hello guys, welcome back. So guys, I want to hear your thoughts on comment section. Donald Trump ends TPS for the Somalis in United States. This means that TPS means the temporary protected status for the Somalis. Somalis came in United States long time ago as refugees because most of Somalis, they normally confuse between them and the black American. Somalis are the immigrant, but black American, those are the fighters of the that United States. They are the one who really built that United States. So this time around, Donald Trump ends TPS for the Somalis. This means that all Somalia community should leave United States by March 17. This is according to the status, because this status they have been protecting Somalia for so many years, because he ends this TPS because of the Minnesota fraud and money laundering, because Somalis in United States, they have been really involved in so many money laundering and the fraud cases in United States for so many years. That's why Trump came out and said that Somalis are not helping the United States. In fact, they are killing the United States, and that's why he has decided to end his relationship with the Somalia community. And Somalia community really came out and started crying for the help from the black people, because black people, they are now silent. Somalis are being accused of what? Of 400 million fraud case in Minnesota, and also their leader called the Omar also accused of acquiring wealth through forgery and fraud, and that is some of them that is really going through. And also Somalis are being accused for being arrogant for the IC and also for the government institution, because we saw how these Somalis, they really came out and accused the IC agents without disrespecting them, and others maybe accusing them of money laundering, because some of Somalis in United States, they are the one who are really funding the Al-Shabaab in Africa, and also other criminal in Somalia. So Donald Trump has seen that this is not the good way to go, and that's why he has decided to end TPS for the Somalis. So this means that Somalis are really not protected by the United States. And you remember that this TPS came early 1990s, so it has been there since that era, and no other leader has come and removed that, ends that TPS, but Donald Trump has decided to remove this TPS. And we remembered very well that for people really fighting for the Donald Trump for re-election is this Somali community. Somali community, they really came out and say that they really support Donald Trump, and the black American, the black folks, they didn't support Donald Trump, and they expected that the Trump will really cost a lot of pain for the black people. But it has now reached the time that Donald Trump is really fighting for people who really voted for them, because we have seen the Latinos, now Cubans, they are receiving their dose from what they really elected. And we are expecting more deportation because Trump is really serious. And I normally say that next time when you do the chance of the electing leader, let's follow the advice of our brothers and sisters, because always the black American, the black folks, they have been winning this election. And also we have never seen mass deportation as per now. So this means that over 100,000, over 1 million and whatever, they are really going to go through on that 17 March. They are required to be deported from the United States by force by Donald Trump, because Donald Trump announced on his handle that he has really earned TPS, and that is really hurting for our brothers and sisters from Somalis. Though these people, they really came out and said that we are not Somalis, we are not Africans, we are the Arabs. And remember, they are living in Africa, and that's why we have those beef between these two communities, because Trump is targeting more. So we can calling them the Maka Somalis, because Maka also went through what Somalis are going through. But remember, the black American, they are the own of the United States, and you, the Somalis are the immigrants. So Trump is really fighting for the Somalis so much. So guys, let's interact more in comment section. If you really view is Trump is doing right thing to end TPS for the Somali community, or do you really support the government pushing Somalis out of United States? So guys, let's interact more in comment section. I'm your host, Team Tessie Reaction. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, and also comment. Thank you so much for your love and for your support, for always coming back and watching my video.